Hello, welcome back to Quantitative Gems. Quantitative Gems is where we show you how to build applications and do numerical analysis and quantitative analysis with Cincom Smalltalk. Any questions, comments, suggestions, please send those to athomas@cincom.com. My name is Arden Thomas. I'm the Cincom Smalltalk product manager, and I encourage you to write me and request the code so you can recreate these studies on your own in Smalltalk. So the prerequisites you need, if you've been following this, you have the personal use license or the commercial product installed of VisualWorks or ObjectStudio. Either will work for this. The example code that I send you loaded, the data file downloaded and installed in a directory that you can find, and the example setup, which is very simple, done. So this URL right here is Jay Capel's website, and he describes 3 days around Thanksgiving, 2 days before and 1 day after. He also mentions on holidays 3 days before and 3 days after, and we'll show you how you can test that out as well. It's pretty simple. We'll also adhere to some Smalltalk best practices. We want our code to be clear, minimal, and if we make any additions, make them reusable if possible. In Smalltalk, you may hear that Smalltalk is simple, and that's not simple as in unimpressive or trivial. It's the opposite. It's simple where, for example, Leonardo da Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Or Einstein said, you should make things as simple as possible, but not simpler. So Smalltalk gives you the opportunity to take very difficult problems and boil them down to something that's clear and minimal. And doing that allows you to get your arms around some much larger problems and work with them really effectively. So let's take a look. Here's the code I've got. This first one installs the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which you can do from the getting the data from the Yahoo Finance site. We can say to this symbol daily data and assign that to data. Let's take a look at that. That is our dates and data. Each datum, a daily datum, has the open, high, low, close, and volume information for each date from January 29th, 1985. We're going to get an interval, 85 to 2019, inspect that. That gives us all the days from 85 to 2019, stepping by one. That allows us to iterate over those. We'll do to get our Thanksgiving dates. So Thanksgiving falls on the fourth Thursday of each month. So I did create one helper method here as nth Thursday of month. So I take the year, concatenate it with 11/15, which is the middle of November. As number makes it an integer, as date creates a date from that integer, and then I want to say to that date as the fourth Thursday of the month. And if we take a look at that, notice it changes every year, but it's the fourth Thursday of the month. So that's exactly what we want in one line of code. Fairly straightforward. So now let's get the returns for each year. We're going to pass in the date, and we're going to say, give me the data to the Thanksgiving date, then get the last two. So that's the 2 days before Thanksgiving as a series. Then we're going to get 1 day after as a series, concatenate those together with a comma, and that's my Thanksgiving rally. Then I'm going to collect the year and the percent return. The percent return for a daily series will get the open of the first day and the close of the last day of the series. So we'll take the stop minus the start, that's how much it's changed, divided by the start, that's the percentage, times 100 to get a percent number, and round that. If I'm dealing with, say, just the closes, that would be a series, and we'll just deal with the first and the last number, not the open and close, because this will be all opens or most likely all closes. So let's run this. And this gives me my year and my return for every year for those 3 days. There's also other information. For example, we can take the returns, collect the value, which is this number to the right, get all the ones that are positive, and then get the average. So I could do that and print this. So that's the average up return. I can also print out the average down return, and I can do the same and get the maximum up and maximum down. So this is 2 days before and 1 day after. We can also do 3 days before and 3 days after and execute that and see the results right here. Put a space there. So this is 3 day after, 2 before and 1 after, and 3 before and 3 after. And you can experiment with that more yourself, or even change the numbers, create your own study, run all the studies, see which one in your estimation gives you the greatest values. Now remember here I'm going from 85 to 2019. I can go and re-pull the data and do it to 2020. I pulled this data before Thanksgiving of this year, so it wasn't ready yet, but that should be ready now when you're reading this. So to recap, this is Jay Kappel's from Jay on the Markets Thanksgiving rally study of 2 days before and 1 day after. We recreated this study, the results of this, in a small amount of hopefully clear and readable code. By the way, if you have some changes that you think make this simpler, clearer, and more readable, please send me those suggestions. I encourage you to write me and get the code. You can reach me at athomas@cincom.com. We also try to make things, whenever we write Smalltalk, Smalltalk encourages you to be clear and minimal, and we want our additions to be reusable as possible. One example here, we made this as nth Thursday of month. What else could we do with that? I could write as nth Friday of month, and every month, monthly options expire on the third Friday of the month. So I could do a similar thing with basically the same type of thing I've done right here to get some reuse. So that's it. Write me for the code. Until next time, have a great time with Cincom Smalltalk. Thank you.